Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Hi guys, this is how to play Silent Night, the classic Christmas song. Fairly easy chords for the majority of it, so we're going to be mainly looking at different picking and strumming options for you guys. We're starting off on a G major chord. If you can play that for me, Dave. And that will happen for 4 strums if we're strumming at the first beat of each bar. And that also happens on every word for the first line. So 4 strums for silent. Pause there. You just strum on each word first of all. Silent night. There you go. Holy night. So that's your 4 strums. And then for all is calm, we have 2 strums of a D chord. All is calm. 2 strums of a G chord. Again for all is bright. All is bright. Now, just to talk you through the strumming a little bit more, this song is in 3/4, so that's waltz time. So each bar is a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So as a simple option to increase your strumming, you just strum 3 times per word on that first line. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Silent night. 3, 4 to a D. All is calm, all is bright. And pause there for me, Dave. So that's strumming in the sing-along fashion of a campfire song, I guess. So if you've got friends around and you need your guitar to be a little bit louder, that's a nice strumming pattern to go for. The second line, we have 2 bars of a C chord and 2 bars of a G chord, and that happens each twice. So from a C chord for Round Yon Virgin, do you want to go for a normal C chord for me, Dave? 3 and A, 4 and A, C, C, and G, and G. And that again, C, C, G, G. Pause there. Hopefully you can hear that pulse of the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which is the first beat of each bar, and that's the start of every bar, and also where the main pulse of each word is, of each phrase. The final line, we're changing chord every bar. So this last line is much tougher, and we have a couple of really beautiful moves in here. We need to know about a B7, so if you've not covered a B7 chord before, I have a video lesson on exactly how to play that in a close-up and everything, and if you need further help on that. But that's the only tricky chord, it just leads to tricky changes, that's all. So for 1 bar of each, and let's just do 1 strum of each chord for this section, your last line starts on a D chord for sleep, to a B7 in heavenly, E minor for peace, and then we're going to add what me and Dave are calling the James Taylor chord, where from that, if you just go back to your E minor 1 second, Dave, we're going to swap those 2 fingers round, so that's first and second finger, swap them just on the same fret to start with, Dave, and then your first finger moves down by 1 fret. If you need any of these on a chord diagram, there will be a link to my website where all the chords for this song will be written out in a full chord sheet and a diagram for each chord so you know exactly where to put your fingers for this one. But we're calling this a James Taylor E minor chord. So let's just listen to the difference from a standard E minor and then the James Taylor one. Just flattens the top note and makes it sound really cool. So that would be for Heavenly Peace. Where the melody goes up, that's where we add that next one. Again, 1 strum of each bar for the time being. So 1 strum per chord for this last line from Sleep. 3 and 4 and sleep. B7, heavenly, E minor, James Taylor chords. And then we've got G, D, G for sleep in heavenly peace. And that's the whole song. Like with many hymns and Christmas songs, it's just one verse with different lyrics to it from there, but all the chords are identical even though the lyrics change throughout this song. So let's go through the whole thing. We'll just strum once per each chord, or once per bar to begin with, and then we'll look at the different options with your strumming and your picking patterns in more detail. So from the top, 3 and 4 and 1 strum. Silent night, holy night. D, all is calm. G, all is bright. To a C, round yon virgin, mother and child. C, holy infant. Back to G, tender and mild. Last line, much trickier from the D chord. Sleep, B7, E minor, James Taylor E minor, G, D, C, G, sleep to a D, end on a G. Okay, so let's delve into your picking and strumming pattern options for this song. First of all, we're going to do the waltz time strumming on every beat that we did for the first line at the start of this video. But we're going to go through all the song. So you're going to do, for that tricky last line, 3 strums of each chord. D, 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 B7. Each one 3 times. Let's go through it from the top, nice and slowly, strumming on every beat. 3 and 4 and side, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4 to a D, D, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 1 to a C, second line, Virgin G again, to a C, C chord, G, and again. Tricky last line from a D, D, 2, 3, B7, E minor, first finger goes down on your E minor, G, D, and a G. Pause there. So fairly straightforward, as long as you can play all your chords, that one's nice. You can play along to lots of different versions of this song. Obviously, it's kind of designed to be sung along with friends and family, but the version that I'd really recommend that's in this key that you can play along to the record to is the Michael Bublé one from his Christmas album. It's probably the one that gets played most these days, but find your favourite. When you're playing onto the record, it may change keys, so you may need a capo, but the Michael Bublé one is in this key. And there's a really nice picking pattern using fingerstyle that happens in that song, which is with your thumb, we're going to pluck string 6, then string 5, and then pluck with your first three fingers on the top three strings, on the thinnest three strings. So a fairly standard setup if you've done any fingerstyle before. If you haven't, you can use a pick to play 6 and 5 and then just do a strum of the thinner strings. So pick, pick, strum. So just as a demonstration, Dave's going to show you the fingerstyle that we're going to be going for in this video. Pluck, pluck, strum. Now Dave really prefers to do a pluck with his first three fingers on the three thinner strings. A lot of people prefer to just do a little strum with your first finger, so you can give us a go with that one, Dave. So thumb, thumb, first finger strum down. Just letting that first finger drop down. When I've taught this in the past, a lot of people have really preferred that. The thing to be aware of is that's a demonstration on a G chord. So when you strum a C chord, for example, the first thumb note that you hit wants to be the root note of a chord. So the root note of your G chord is on the thickest E string. It's on the string 6, and it is a G note. When you go to a C chord, therefore, you need to pick string 5, because we don't want to play that thickest E string, and we're going to go 5, 4, then a pluck or a strum. If you still pluck 6, 5 on a C chord, it's not going to sound that pleasant. So we do want to know a little bit about these root notes. If that is really, really new to you and you're not familiar with root notes at all, I think in every video that I've taught so far, right back to using just 2 chords, E and A, which are the 2 easiest chords to play on guitar, I've talked about root notes, so please delve into some of those and get used to them on some easier chords. But for this particular song, if you really wanted to persevere with this idea, just pick whatever the root note is of that note, of that chord twice, rather than going down a string. So on the C, pick C twice, pick, pick, strum, pick, pick, strum, and then on a D chord, for example, that becomes a lot easier. Same D again, D, D, and then strum. It just leaves you with less room for error if you know exactly what string you're going for. But on the C chord, ideally we'd be 5, 4, and then picking the thinnest 3 strings. And then on your D chord, again I'd go 5 and 4. So 5, 4. Now it's there actually the second note, which is the open D string, which is the root note of this one, but it stops us going too low with our thumb, because the first 3 strings in fingerstyle are kind of reserved for your fingers, and strings 6, 5 and 4 are all reserved for your thumb. So let's give a nice slow demonstration of that first line for us, Dave, and I'll leave it to you. So we do that pattern 4 times, then twice on the D and G. Then to a D chord. And again, that first pluck of each, that pattern that cycles is over each word. So if we can play it together, but I'll sing along just so you can see how it works. 3 and 4 and silent, pick, pick, strum, holy night. To a D chord, all is calm, all is bright. To a C chord for the second line, 3 and 4 and round yon Virgin, mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild. The last line of the song, we're doing that pattern once per chord, and for all of these chords, it's best that we go for 5, 4, and then the strum of the thinner strings. So string 5, string 4, pluck for D, B7, E minor, and the James Taylor E minor as well. So let's go for that from the D. For and asleep. E minor. James Taylor E minor. And then finally G, D, G. Back to normal as we did in the first line. For and pluck, pluck, strum. D chord. Peace. Lovely. So that's definitely the most professional option that we could do on this song. Really gets the tone of the song nice, quiet, silent night after all. You don't want to be playing the hell out of the thing. We want to play nice and quiet. But the strumming option is far easier and will be heard more if a load of people are singing along, and hopefully that's something we can get you doing. Thanks for checking out this video. There's going to be loads more Christmas songs coming your way. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you have, and I'm sure I'll see you again. Take care.